My fellow Singaporeans, I want to speak to you about Budget 2020. Now, this budget comes in the midst of the greatest health crisis that the world has seen in a modern era. It is a crisis that has not been handled well by the PAP leaders. Despite the fact that we went through SARS 17 years ago, and despite the fact that they told us at the outset that they were well prepared and had gained valuable experience from SARS, they have been caught with their pants down. It has been total chaos and disarray. And today, sad to say, Singapore has the highest number of infection cases outside of China. This despite the fact that we are almost the furthest country from China in Asia. And every step of the way, the PAP leaders have been reactive and not proactive. The problem was they tried to pretend that life could go on as normal. And they tried to pretend that the economy could go on as normal. Other countries took far more proactive steps, far more decisive steps, by closing down their borders with China rapidly. We dilly-dallied. And as a result, today, as I speak to you, we have 81 recorded cases of COVID-19. For weeks now, Singaporeans have not been able to buy the face mask or the surgical mask. Yes, some do succeed in very, very limited quantities, but the frustration on the street is evident. And, the ridiculous thing is that they even had to go and commandeer student hostels from our universities to be quarantine centers. And one of those hostels happened to be in the Seligi area, around Prinsep Street, and it belongs to the Singapore Management University. Is that the best you can do after 17 years? That you need to turf out the students, take away their accommodation, and use it as a quarantine area right in the middle of the city? So, we have been hearing a lot from the PAP leaders as to how brilliantly they have done in this crisis. I'm happy to let the facts speak for themselves. When a country takes decisive action, like what Macau did, when it closed down business literally for 2 weeks, and it closed the casinos, which are the economic lifeline of the economy there. When the authorities there encourage people to stay at home, wear the face mask, avoid crowds, you are able to bring the situation under control rapidly. And Macau has not recorded a single new case for 12 days. And tomorrow, the casinos are reopening. So it is much better in a situation like this, my friends, for the government to take decisive action, ensure the safety and protection of the people. Yes, the economy may be severely impacted for a short period of time, but then you get back on your feet and you recover. You contrast that with the situation in Singapore today. Every day we are having an increasing number of cases. People are afraid to go out. And so the agony is prolonged. The economic impact and damage is even greater. And we do not know how long this crisis is going to be with us in Singapore. And it is sad. It is sad because the most affected people are the self-employed and the small businesses. So many taxi drivers have told me that their income has dropped by 60%. The other night, I went to a popular coffee shop along Sembawang Road, which I visit quite often for dinner. That place serves good food, is very popular with the crowds, and on most nights, it is packed. But when I went 2 nights ago, it was down to about 20% of its usual capacity. And there is a very famous bak kut teh stall near where I work as well. And when I went in the other day for lunch, the person behind the counter told me that their business was down by 50%.